When you get an evacuation order, you grab your go bag and you go. My name is Mary Scramstad. I'm a wildfire mitigation specialist with Santa Rafael Fire.
And I'm Quinn Gardner, the emergency manager for the city. We're here today to talk to you about our go bags and what you should have inside yours. But first, let's start with what's on the outside. You can see I have my gloves hanging in case I needed to use them, as well as a whistle, a flashlight, and my evacuation tag. Let's dive in. You'll be amazed at how much I can fit in this.
That was fast.
Yeah, and the majority of things here too are things that I already had in my home and I just needed to gather and put into a go bag.
What about this one, Quinn?
Yeah, that is a little unique. This is one of the few things I bought. This is actually a crank radio, so it's a flashlight, solar charger, and a radio that I can also charge things out of, which is really helpful. In addition, of course, I've got my power banks. I use these when I travel, and then I just put them back into my go bag whenever I'm done. A few other items that I want to point out. I keep all my important documents on flash drives that I keep in my go bag. I keep small bills and pens and batteries, as well as my old identification, so I have extra copies, toilet paper, duct tape, and I also like to think about things that have multi-purposes in my go bag. So I keep old pillowcases so they can work as extra bags, or I could tear them up and use them as string or for first aid, whatever the case may be. Of course, I've got my water and my foods and my snacks. It's really important that my go bag is going to keep me in a good mental state, so having things I like is really important. Of course, I've got my pet taken care of, food, medication, a leash, as well as my N95 mask and some extra changes of clothes. And of course, my first aid kit is very important.
Don't forget your hand sanitizer and feminine hygiene products.
Yeah, Mary, that's a great point. And I think the last thing I want to point out is I also keep a deck of cards, because having something to do and keep myself comfortable and mentally occupied can really help reduce stress during a disaster. I know comfort's a big deal for the kids. You want to talk a little bit about your kids' go bag?
Absolutely. I brought my daughter's go bag. She's 10 years old. Now, the first thing that she has in her go bag she can't live without is her bunny. Now, this bunny I gave to her when she was very young, so anytime she looks at it, she thinks of me, and it brings her a lot of comfort. The other thing that she has is a coloring book and coloring pencils. The coloring book will keep her entertained for hours on end.
Coloring books keep me entertained too.
And as always, electronics. You gotta have your electronics for those kids that are a little bit older. Lastly, I wanna focus on a communication plan. So I have extra copies of our communication plan in her backpack so that she has the comfort of knowing where she's going and who to call in an emergency.
Yeah, Mary, I think that's a great point. Having a plan is just as important as making sure you have your supplies. So we encourage you all to take your supplies, put them in a bag, and make sure you're checking your go bag regularly. Keep it in a place that's accessible, and during red flag warnings, you can certainly go ahead and move it to your front door. Together, we can have a plan and supplies and all be better prepared for disasters in Marin.